Jimi Hendrix. It's
Okay.
hard.
Excellent,
To,
mate.
Really, it is. He was a natural like I am. He grew up learning music the way I did.
My favorite are the single Cutaway Brown original Country Gentleman. That's what I think I got. I got.
Stephen Stills established himself as one of rock music's most accomplished guitarists through his work with Buffalo Springfield, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and Manassas. His ability to master both electric and acoustic guitar across blues, rock, folk, and Latin music styles made him uniquely versatile. Unlike guitarists who focus primarily on flashy technical displays, Stills valued musicality and emotional expression above all else. His deep understanding of different musical traditions and his experience playing alongside numerous legendary musicians gave him a sophisticated perspective on what makes a truly great guitarist. When Stills shared his choices for his 10 favorite guitarists, the music community paid close attention. This was not simply another famous musician listing well-known names. Stills had actually performed with many guitar legends and had spent years studying various playing approaches. His selections emphasized soulful expression and musical intelligence rather than pure speed or technical showmanship. He consistently looked for emotional depth and originality in the guitarists he most admired. For Stills, the ability to communicate feeling and tell stories through the instrument mattered more than achieving technical perfection. He believed that truly great guitar playing should move listeners emotionally rather than merely impressing them with difficult techniques. His list included blues pioneers, rock innovators, and players who had developed completely unique voices on their instruments. Albert King earned his place on the list through his powerful and distinctive approach to blues guitar. King played his guitar left-handed and upside down without restringing it, which contributed to his one-of-a-kind sound. His Gibson Flying V and aggressive string-bending techniques influenced rock guitarists just as much as they influenced blues players. His performances on tracks like Born Under a Bad Sign demonstrated raw power combined with sophisticated musical phrasing. Stills studied King's recordings carefully and absorbed valuable lessons about how to bend strings expressively. King's tone was massive and immediately recognizable, often identifiable after hearing just 2 notes. His sustained bends and vibrato conveyed pure emotion without any unnecessary flourishes. He played with remarkable strength and made every note dramatically count. Stills appreciated how King could communicate more with 3 notes than many other guitarists could express with 30. What made King truly irreplaceable was his complete originality and his refusal to play in conventional ways. He developed his own tuning and fingering approaches that no one else used. King proved that having an individual voice mattered more than following established rules. His influence on rock guitarists like Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix was enormous, and his emotional intensity showed Stills that guitar playing should originate from deep within. Django Reinhardt revolutionized jazz guitar despite facing severe physical limitations. He had only 2 fully functioning fingers on his fretting hand, yet he created a gypsy jazz style that combined incredible technique with passionate expression. Reinhardt played acoustic guitar with speed and sophistication that seemed almost impossible given his limitations. Stills marveled at Reinhardt's ability to overcome physical challenges through pure musical genius. His performances on pieces like Minor Swing and Nuages featured lightning-fast runs combined with beautiful melodic sensibility. The Selmer guitar he played produced warm yet cutting tones that were perfect for jazz. Reinhardt created an entirely new vocabulary for jazz guitar playing. Stills loved how Reinhardt played with joy and celebration despite having experienced difficult life circumstances. What separated Reinhardt from other players was his combination of technical mastery and gypsy soul. He played with fire and passion that came from Romani musical traditions. Reinhardt proved that nothing could stop true genius, and his influence spread across jazz, rock, and world music. His approach taught Stills that limitations could actually inspire greatness rather than prevent it.
Scotty Moore created the rockabilly guitar sound and backed Elvis Presley during his revolutionary early years. His work on songs like That's All Right and Mystery Train established the fundamental blueprint for rock guitar. Moore played hollow-body Gibson guitars and perfectly combined country picking techniques with blues feeling. Stills recognized Moore as one of rock and roll's founding fathers. Moore's guitar work showcased perfect taste and incredible restraint. He never overplayed or tried to compete with Elvis's vocals. Instead, Moore created memorable parts that enhanced songs without drawing excessive attention to himself. Stills appreciated Moore's professionalism and his complete dedication to serving the music. What made Moore particularly special was his role in actually inventing rock and roll guitar language. He created licks and phrases that rock guitarists still use today. Moore laid the foundation for everything that came afterward in rock guitar. His influence on the genre was both direct and profound, and his Sun Records sessions with Elvis permanently changed music history. Freddie King bridged traditional blues and modern rock guitar brilliantly. His instrumental recordings showcased powerful technique combined with deep blues feeling. King played Gibson guitars through loud amplifiers, creating aggressive tones that significantly influenced British blues rock. Stills loved King's energy and his ability to make blues music exciting to rock audiences. King's performances on instrumentals like Hideaway and The Stumble combined lightning-fast picking with soulful string bends. His steel fingerpicks created sharp, cutting tones that stood out in any musical context. He could play delicate, slow blues or energetic shuffles with equal mastery. Stills studied King's recordings obsessively during his early musical development. What impressed Stills most was King's bridge between traditional blues and modern rock approaches. King directly influenced Eric Clapton, Peter Green, and countless British guitarists. He was the blues guitarist who showed rock players what was truly possible on the instrument. King's Gibson ES-345 produced tones that came to define the electric blues sound, and his approach perfectly combined tradition with innovation.
Duane Allman became Southern rock's greatest guitarist and one of music's most influential slide players. His work with the Allman Brothers Band created epic improvisational guitar music that combined blues, jazz, and rock elements. Allman's dual guitar harmonies with Dickie Betts established entirely new possibilities for rock guitar. Stills deeply admired Allman's complete musicalship and his passionate playing style. Allman's slide guitar work on Statesboro Blues and his session contributions to Lila showcased genius-level talent and feeling. His Gibson Les Paul guitar, paired with a Cara bottle slide, produced tones that were simultaneously sweet and aggressive. Allman played with incredible technical ability, but never lost his emotional connection to the music. Stills appreciated how Allman made complex improvisation sound natural and conversational. What made Allman irreplaceable was his combination of Southern soul and jazz sophistication. He could play bebop lines or raw blues with equal authenticity. Allman demonstrated complete dedication to musical truth and expression. His tragic death at age 24 robbed music of one of its brightest young talents, but his influence on Stills and countless other guitarists remains absolutely profound. B.B. King became known as the king of blues guitar through decades of passionate, soulful playing. His Gibson ES-355, which he named Lucille, produced what many consider the most expressive guitar tone in blues history. King's vibrato and string bending communicated emotion that transcended words. Stills studied King's phrasing carefully and learned that silence and space mattered just as much as the notes themselves. King's performances on songs like The Thrill Is Gone and Every Day I Have the Blues showcased perfect musical intelligence. He never played fast or displayed technical ability unnecessarily. Instead, King made every single note count emotionally. Stills loved how King could make audiences cry with just a few perfectly placed bends.
What elevated King above almost everyone else was his pure emotional honesty. He played from his heart with complete authenticity. King proved that guitar playing should touch souls rather than simply impress other musicians. King's influence spread across blues, rock, jazz, and soul music. His approach taught Stills that feeling and heart beat technical brilliance every single time. Jimi Hendrix exploded conventional understanding of the electric guitar and completely reimagined what the instrument could do. His 3 years of major recording activity produced more innovation than most guitarists achieve in their entire careers. Hendrix combined blues feeling with psychedelic experimentation and pure sonic genius. Stills actually jammed with Hendrix and witnessed his brilliance firsthand during the 1960s. Hendrix's legendary performances at Monterey and Woodstock showed that guitar could simultaneously be theater, art, and transcendent music. Songs like Purple Haze and Machine Gun pushed electric guitar into completely new territories. Hendrix used effects and feedback as compositional tools rather than mere sonic tricks. Stills appreciated how Hendrix remained deeply rooted in blues traditions while exploring outer space sonically. What made Hendrix unrepeatable was his combination of technical mastery and visionary artistry. He played upside-down Stratocasters and created entirely new techniques. Hendrix showed everyone that the guitar had no limits whatsoever. His influence on rock guitar simply cannot be measured, as his approach fundamentally changed what guitarists thought was possible. Buddy Guy played Chicago blues guitar with more fire and intensity than virtually anyone else. His aggressive approach influenced rock guitarists just as much as it influenced blues players. Guy's Fender Stratocaster, played through cranked amplifiers, produced raw, distorted tones years before rock guitarists commonly used distortion. Stills recognized Guy as a direct link between traditional blues and modern rock guitar. Guy's playing combined traditional blues vocabulary with rock energy and showmanship. He famously played behind his head with his teeth and ran through audiences with wireless guitars. Guy's emotional intensity and technical brilliance impressed everyone who saw him perform. Stills loved how Guy made blues music dangerous and exciting to young rock audiences. What made Guy irreplaceable was his role as a bridge between blues tradition and rock innovation. He directly influenced Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, and Jeff Beck. Guy was the blues guitarist who gave rock music permission to be wild and unrestrained. Guy's sustained notes and aggressive vibrato became standard vocabulary for rock guitar, and his influence on Stills' own blues playing was enormous and lasting. Eric Clapton became Stills' closest friend among guitarists and his most important musical influence. Their relationship produced mutual respect and countless jam sessions together. Clapton's work with Cream, Derek and the Dominoes, and his solo career showcased complete mastery of blues rock guitar. Stills studied Clapton's playing obsessively and learned enormously from their friendship. What made Clapton special was his dedication to blues authenticity combined with rock energy. He brought blues masters like B.B. King and Buddy Guy to rock audiences who might not have otherwise discovered them. Clapton demonstrated complete commitment to musical honesty and blues feeling. His influence on rock guitar was absolutely enormous, and his friendship with Stills shaped both of their musical approaches profoundly. Buddy Guy played Chicago blues guitar with more fire and intensity than virtually anyone else. His aggressive approach influenced rock guitarists just as much as it influenced blues players. Guy's Fender Stratocaster, played through cranked amplifiers, produced raw, distorted tones years before rock guitarists commonly used distortion. Stills recognized Guy as a direct link between traditional blues and modern rock guitar. Guy's playing combined traditional blues vocabulary with rock energy and showmanship. He famously played behind his head with his teeth and ran through audiences with wireless guitars. Guy's emotional intensity and technical brilliance impressed everyone who saw him perform. Stills loved how Guy made blues music dangerous and exciting to young rock audiences. What made Guy irreplaceable was his role as a bridge between blues tradition and rock innovation. He directly influenced Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, and Jeff Beck. Guy was the blues guitarist who gave rock music permission to be wild and unrestrained. Guy's sustained notes and aggressive vibrato became standard vocabulary for rock guitar, and his influence on Stills' own blues playing was enormous and lasting. Eric Clapton became Stills' closest friend among guitarists and his most important musical influence. Their relationship produced mutual respect and countless jam sessions together. Clapton's work with Cream, Derek and the Dominoes, and his solo career showcased complete mastery of blues rock guitar. Stills studied Clapton's playing obsessively and learned enormously from their friendship. What made Clapton special was his dedication to blues authenticity combined with rock energy. He brought blues masters like B.B. King and Buddy Guy to rock audiences who might not have otherwise discovered them. Clapton demonstrated complete commitment to musical honesty and blues feeling. His influence on rock guitar was absolutely enormous, and his friendship with Stills shaped both of their musical approaches profoundly.
At the very top of Stills' list stood Chet Atkins, who mastered fingerstyle guitar playing and became Stephen Stills' biggest guitar hero. Atkins's technique allowed him to play bass lines, chords, and melodies simultaneously on a single guitar. Stills placed Atkins at #1 because Atkins combined technical perfection with pure musical intelligence. Atkins could play any style, from country to jazz to classical music, flawlessly. His work showcased incredible versatility and sophisticated harmonic knowledge. The Gretsch guitars he played produced warm, clear tones that became the standard for fingerstyle playing. Atkins never stopped learning and experimenting throughout his remarkably long career. Stills studied Atkins's recordings endlessly and tried to incorporate fingerstyle approaches into his own playing. What made Atkins truly irreplaceable was his generosity as a mentor and his complete dedication to guitar mastery. He understood complex jazz voicings and applied them in all musical contexts. Atkins showed that the guitar could function as a complete orchestra in the right hands. He influenced guitarists across every genre imaginable, and his approach taught Stills that technical perfection and musical beauty could coexist perfectly. Stills' carefully chosen list of favorite guitarists proves that soul, feeling, and musical intelligence matter most in great guitar playing. Each of these 10 guitarists moved listeners emotionally while simultaneously displaying incredible technique and dedication to their craft. They were not simply technical masters showing off their abilities, but rather musical storytellers who used the guitar to communicate directly with people's hearts. Stills' selections span multiple genres and eras, from Django Reinhardt's gypsy jazz to Jimi Hendrix's psychedelic rock innovations, from B.B. King's pure blues emotion to Chet Atkins's fingerstyle perfection. What unites all these diverse players is their commitment to emotional honesty, their development of unique personal voices on the instrument, and their profound influence on subsequent generations of guitarists. Through this list, Stills revealed his own values as a musician and demonstrated why he himself became such a respected and influential guitarist in rock history.